My fiancé's best man destroyed our wedding cake with his bare hands while sobbing. He promised to marry me first. He's been sleeping outside our honeymoon suite every night. My fiancé says he's just drunk. Last night I saw them kissing each other. I'm Vanessa, and I watched my entire wedding rehearsal dinner collapse in under 30 seconds. The moment Owen's fists connected with that 3-tier practice cake, buttercream exploding everywhere, I grabbed my purse and walked straight out of the restaurant. I didn't look back. I didn't wait for Tyler to follow me. I just left. My sister Claire caught up with me in the parking lot. Vanessa, wait, she said, grabbing my arm. What are you going to do? I don't know, I said, but I'm not going back in there. Tyler came running out 2 minutes later. His shirt had frosting on it. His face was red. Babe, come on, he said. Owen's just drunk. He doesn't know what he's saying. He said you promised to marry him first, Tyler. He's being dramatic. You know how he gets. No, I said. I actually don't know how he gets, because apparently I don't know anything about your relationship with him. Tyler ran his hand through his hair. There's nothing to know. We've been best friends since college. That's it. Then why did he say that? Because he's drunk and stupid and probably jealous that I'm getting married and he's still single. Claire was standing behind me. She squeezed my shoulder. Tyler, she said. That was really weird. You have to admit that. It was weird because he's drunk, Tyler said again. Look, I'll talk to him. He'll apologize. Everything will be fine for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I said. You think I'm still marrying you tomorrow after that? Tyler's face changed. He looked genuinely shocked. Vanessa, come on, don't be crazy. We're not calling off the wedding because Owen had too much to drink. That word, crazy. I felt something shift in my chest. I need the key back, I said. What key? The key to the honeymoon suite, the one you gave Owen. Tyler blinked. How did you? Your mom told me yesterday. She thought it was sweet that you trusted him with it. I didn't understand why your best man needed a key to our honeymoon suite, but I let it go. I'm not letting it go anymore. He's holding on to it because I kept forgetting where I put things, Tyler said. He's organized. I'm not. It's not a big deal. Get it back from him tonight or I'm not showing up tomorrow. I got in my car and drove away. Claire called me 10 minutes later. Where are you going? She asked. A hotel. Come to my place, please. So I did. Claire's apartment was small but comfortable. She made me tea. I sat on her couch and stared at the wall. Do you think Tyler's gay? I asked. Claire paused. I don't know. Maybe. That was really strange behavior. He's never given me any indication. Our relationship is normal. The physical stuff is fine. Good. Even. Then maybe Owen just has feelings for Tyler and Tyler doesn't realize it. Tyler's not stupid, Claire. If his best friend was in love with him, he'd know. People can be oblivious about that stuff. My phone buzzed. Tyler was calling. I declined it. He called again. I declined again. Then he texted. Owen gave me the key. I'm sorry. I love you. Please don't do this. I didn't respond. Claire sat next to me. What are you thinking? I'm thinking I need to know what's really going on before I marry him. How are you going to figure that out? I don't know yet. I barely slept that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Owen's face, the rage in it, the pain. He didn't look drunk when he screamed that. He looked heartbroken. In the morning, Claire made coffee. I checked my phone. 23 missed calls from Tyler, 15 texts, 3 voicemails. There were also messages from my mom, Tyler's mom, and several bridesmaids. Everyone wanted to know what was happening with the wedding. I called my mom first. Sweetheart, she said. What's going on? Tyler's mother called me in tears. Did Tyler tell you what happened last night? He said Owen had too much to drink and made a scene. He said you overreacted. Of course he did. Mom, Owen said Tyler promised to marry him first. Then he destroyed the cake with his bare hands. That's not normal drunk behavior. My mom was quiet for a moment. What are you going to do? I don't know. I need answers first. The wedding is in 6 hours, Vanessa. I know what time it is. I'm not trying to pressure you. I just want to make sure you're thinking clearly. I am thinking clearly. That's the problem. After I hung up, Claire said, so what's the plan? I need to talk to Owen. Are you serious? He's the only one who can tell me the truth. Tyler will lose his mind if he finds out. Tyler can deal with it. I didn't have Owen's number, but I knew where he lived. Tyler had dragged me to his apartment a few times for game nights. It was in a building downtown, about 20 minutes away. Claire insisted on coming with me. We drove in silence. When we got there, I buzzed his apartment. No answer. I buzzed again. Finally, a groggy voice came through the speaker. What? Owen, it's Vanessa. I need to talk to you. Long pause. Go away. I'm not leaving until you talk to me. Another pause. Then the door buzzed open. His apartment was on the 3rd floor. When he opened the door, he looked terrible. His eyes were bloodshot. His hair was a mess. He was wearing sweatpants and a wrinkled t-shirt. What do you want? He asked. I want to know what you meant last night. I was drunk. You weren't that drunk. Owen laughed bitterly. Tyler sent you here to do damage control. Tyler doesn't know I'm here. That got his attention. He looked at Claire, then back at me. Fine, he said. Come in. His apartment was surprisingly neat for someone who'd just had a breakdown. Everything was organized. Minimal. There were photos on the walls. Most of them were of Tyler. Tyler at graduation. Tyler at a baseball game. Tyler on a hiking trip. Tyler. There was exactly one photo of Owen with someone else. It looked like his family. You want coffee? Owen asked. No, I said. I want the truth. Owen sat down on his couch. He put his head in his hands. You really want to do this right now? On your wedding day? Yes. He looked up at me. His eyes were red. I didn't think it was just from drinking. Fine. Tyler and I dated in college. The room tilted slightly. What? We were together for 2 years. Junior and senior year. He broke up with me right after graduation because he said he couldn't live that life. He said he wanted to be normal. Get married. Have kids. Do the whole straight thing. I felt Claire's hand on my arm, steadying me. He told me he'd never dated anyone before me. I said quietly. He lied. Why would he lie about that? Owen shrugged. Because he's ashamed? Because he wanted a fresh start? I don't know. Ask him. Did you stay in touch after After he broke up with you? Not for a few years. Then he reached out, said he missed my friendship. I was stupid enough to believe he just wanted to be friends. But you didn't just want to be friends. Of course I didn't. I never stopped loving him. And he knew that. He used that. Used it how? Owen stood up and walked to his window. He stared out at the street below. He'd call me whenever things got hard, whenever he felt trapped. We'd meet up, talk, sometimes more than talk. My stomach dropped. You've been sleeping with him. Not the whole time you've been together. It stopped about a year ago. I told him I couldn't do it anymore, that I needed to move on. He said he understood. But you didn't move on. No. And when he asked me to be his best man, I thought, Owen's voice cracked. I thought maybe he was realizing he made a mistake, that maybe he'd call off the wedding, come back to me. But he didn't. No. He doubled down. And last night, watching him up there talking about his future with you, about the life you're going to build together, I lost it. I'm sorry. I sat down on his couch because my legs wouldn't hold me anymore. Claire was pale. Oh my God. Does anyone else know? I asked. About you and Tyler? His brother knows. Gregory. They're close. Gregory. Tyler's older brother. His groomsman. Did Gregory know about the other stuff? The cheating? Owen shook his head. I don't think so. Tyler was good at hiding things. I thought about all the times Tyler had worked late, or gone to the gym, or met up with Owen for a beer. All the times I'd trusted him without question. Why are you telling me this? I asked. You could have just played dumb. Let me marry him. Kept your secret. Owen turned to look at me. His expression was hollow. Because you seem nice. And you don't deserve to marry someone who's lying to you about who he is. I did you a favor last night, even if it didn't feel like it. When did it stop? I asked suddenly. You said a year ago. What happened? Owen was quiet for a moment. I told him I couldn't keep being his escape, that it was destroying me, watching him plan a life with you while he was still coming to me. I said I needed him to choose. Really choose. And he chose me. He chose the easier path. You represented everything he wanted to be. Normal. Acceptable. Safe. And you represented what? Everything he was trying to run from. The words hit me hard because they were true. Tyler had been running from himself our entire relationship, and I'd been the finish line he was desperately trying to reach. Did you love him? Owen asked suddenly. Really love him. I thought about it. I loved who I thought he was. I don't know if I ever really knew him well enough to love the real him. Owen nodded slowly. That's honest at least. We left shortly after. Claire drove because I couldn't focus on the road. What are you going to do? She asked. I'm going to talk to Gregory. Vanessa, I need to confirm this. Owen could be lying, or exaggerating, or I don't know. I need to hear it from someone else. Gregory was staying at the hotel where the wedding was supposed to happen. I called him from the car. Vanessa, he answered. Are you okay? Tyler's freaking out. He can't reach you. I need to talk to you. In person. Right now. Okay. I'm at the hotel. Room 4112. When we got there, Gregory was pacing his room. He looked nervous. What's going on? He asked. Is the wedding still happening? That depends. I said. I need you to tell me the truth about something. Gregory's face tightened. About what? About Tyler and Owen. Their relationship. Gregory closed his eyes. Oh no. So it's true. What did Owen tell you? That they dated in college. That Tyler broke up with him after graduation because he wanted to be straight. Is that true? Gregory sat down on his bed. He nodded slowly. Yeah, it's true. Did you know they were still involved after Tyler and I started dating? Gregory looked genuinely surprised. What? No. Tyler told me it was completely over. That Owen was just his friend. Owen says they were sleeping together up until about a year ago. That son of a. Gregory stopped himself. I didn't know. I swear, if I'd known, I would have said something. I believed him. Gregory had always been kind to me, welcoming. What else don't I know? I asked. Gregory rubbed his face. Look, Tyler's complicated. He spent his whole life trying to be what our parents wanted, what he thought society wanted. When he came out to me in college, he was happy, lighter. Then our dad made some comments about gay people at a family dinner, and Tyler just shut down. He broke up with Owen and never looked back. Until he looked back. I guess so. What did your dad say? At that dinner, Gregory hesitated. He was talking about a coworker who'd just come out, said it was unnatural, that people like that were confused, that they'd regret it when they got older and wanted a real family. Tyler didn't say anything at the time, but he called me that night. He was crying, said he couldn't do it, couldn't be that person our dad was talking about, so he decided to be someone else instead. Yeah, my phone rang. Tyler again. I let it go to voicemail. He's going to figure out where you are soon, Gregory said. Let him. For what it's worth, Gregory added, I think you're doing the right thing. Tyler needs to figure out who he is, and he can't do that while trying to be what everyone else wants. That's not my responsibility anymore. No, it's not. But I left anyway. I didn't want to see Tyler yet, not until I'd decided what I was going to do. Claire and I went back to her apartment. It was 10 in the morning. The wedding was at 2. You need to make a decision, Claire said gently. I know. Do you still want to marry him? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said. Not like this. Not with all these lies. Okay, then you need to call it off. Everyone's already there. The venue is set up. The flowers are delivered. The food is prepared. None of that matters, Vanessa. What matters is whether you want to marry someone who's been lying to you for 3 years. She was right. I called my mom first. Told her everything. She was horrified but supportive. Do what you need to do, sweetheart, she said. We'll handle the logistics. Then I called the venue and told them to cancel. The coordinator was surprisingly understanding. Apparently this wasn't her first same-day cancellation. These things happen more than you'd think, she said kindly. Better now than after. Then I had to deal with Tyler. He showed up at Claire's apartment around 11. He pounded on the door. Vanessa, I know you're in there. Open the door. Claire looked at me. Do you want me to tell him to leave? No, I said. I need to face him. I opened the door. Tyler looked panicked. His suit was only half on. He'd clearly gotten dressed in a hurry. Thank God, he said. I thought we need to talk. Please, come in. He stepped inside. Claire excused herself to the bedroom. Tyler and I stood in the living room, facing each other. Owen told you? He said. It wasn't a question. Yes, he's lying. Gregory confirmed it. Tyler's face fell. Gregory doesn't know everything. He knows you and Owen dated. He knows you broke up with Owen because you wanted to be straight. Is that enough? Vanessa, that was years ago, before I met you. It doesn't matter. It matters that you lied about it. You told me you'd never been in a serious relationship before me. I hadn't. Not a real one. So your 2-year relationship with Owen wasn't real. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't who I am. Are you gay, Tyler? He flinched like I'd slapped him. No. Are you bisexual? I don't like labels. That's not an answer. Tyler started pacing. Why does it matter? I chose you. I'm marrying you. Were you sleeping with Owen while we were together? Silence. Tyler, it was a mistake, he said quietly. It meant nothing. How many times? Does it matter? Yes. He wouldn't look at me. A few times. Early on, when we were having problems. We weren't having problems. You made up problems so you could cheat on me. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Tyler finally looked at me. His eyes were wet. I don't know. I was confused. I thought I was over him. But then he was just there. And it was familiar and easy. And I messed up, but I stopped. Over a year ago, I committed to you. To us. After how many times? Vanessa, how many times did you sleep with him? 5, maybe 6. Maybe 6. Like he couldn't even keep count. Did you use protection? His face went white. Oh my God. Yes. Every time. I would never. You already did. You exposed me to whatever he might have. You risked my health for your confusion. I got tested. I'm clean. I made sure. When did you get tested? After the last time. I told you I was getting a physical. I got the full panel. At least there was that. Why did you ask Owen to be your best man? I asked. Because he's my best friend. He's in love with you. He'll get over it. The casual way he said it made my skin crawl. You're using him, I said. You used him for years. Kept him on the hook because it was convenient. Because you wanted the comfort of him without the commitment. That's not fair, isn't it? You broke his heart. Then you came back and broke it again. Multiple times. And you still wanted him at your wedding. Standing next to you. Watching you marry someone else. How is that not cruel? Tyler didn't have an answer for that. I can't marry you, I said. Vanessa, please. I already canceled everything. The wedding's off. No. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. We can work through it. I don't want to work through it. I don't want to spend the next year or 5 years or 10 years wondering if you're really happy with me or if you're just playing a part. I don't want to worry every time you're late coming home or every time you mention Owen's name. I'll cut him out completely. I'll never talk to him again. That's not the point. Then what is the point? The point is that you lied to me about who you are, about your past, about your feelings. You built our entire relationship on a foundation of lies, and now you're surprised it's crumbling. Tyler sank onto the couch. He put his head in his hands. I love you, he said. I don't think you do. I think you love the idea of me, the life I represent, but you don't actually love me, not enough to be honest with me. He didn't argue. I took off my engagement ring, placed it on the coffee table. You should go, I said. He looked at the ring, then at me. Is there anything I can say? Anything I can do? No. He stood slowly, picked up the ring, held it in his palm like he was weighing it. I'm sorry, he said. For what it's worth, I really am sorry. I know. I never wanted to hurt you, but you did anyway. He nodded, turned toward the door, then stopped. Can I ask you something? What? If I'd been honest from the beginning, if I'd told you about Owen, about my past, would you have still dated me? I thought about it. I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe. If you'd been honest about working through it, if you'd been committed to figuring yourself out while building something with me. But that's not what you did. You lied and hid and kept one foot in your past while promising me a future. I know. You robbed us of the chance to build something real. Because real things are built on truth. Tyler's shoulders slumped. He looked defeated. I hope you find what you're looking for, he said quietly. I hope you do too. He left. Claire came out of the bedroom as soon as the door closed. Are you okay? She asked. I will be. The next few hours were chaos. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. Family members, friends, people demanding explanations or offering condolences or sharing their opinions. I turned it off eventually. Claire ordered pizza. We ate it on the couch and watched terrible reality TV. What are you going to do now? She asked. I don't know. I guess I'll move out of Tyler's place, find my own apartment. You can stay here as long as you need. Thanks. My mom came over around 6. She hugged me for a long time. I'm proud of you, she said. That took courage. It didn't feel courageous. It felt necessary. That's what courage is. She helped me make a plan. I'd stay with Claire for a week while I found a new place. My dad would help me move my stuff out of Tyler's apartment while Tyler was at work. What about the money? My mom asked. Your father and I paid for half the wedding. I'll pay you back. Vanessa, that's not. I'll pay you back. I need to do this on my own. She understood. Over the next few days, I started packing. Tyler had moved into a hotel to give me space. We communicated through text messages about logistics. Nothing personal, just practical details about who owned what and when I'd be out. It was strange, dismantling a life we'd built together. Every item had a memory. The coffee maker we'd bought on our first trip together. The throw pillows I'd insisted on. The painting we'd found at a flea market. I took what was mine and left the rest. My dad helped me move on a Tuesday. Tyler wasn't there. He'd left the key under the mat like we'd agreed. You doing okay, kiddo? My dad asked as we loaded the last box into his truck. Yeah, I said. I think I am. Your mother told me what happened with Tyler and his friend. Owen? Right. Owen. My dad was quiet for a moment. For what it's worth, you did the right thing. I know. Do you? I looked at him. What do you mean? I mean, it's easy to second-guess yourself after something like this, to wonder if you overreacted, if you should have given him another chance. I don't think I overreacted. I don't think you did either. But I want you to know that even if you have moments of doubt, and you will, you made the right call. You can't build a marriage on lies. It doesn't work. How do you know? My dad smiled sadly. Because I tried. Before I met your mother, I was engaged to someone else. Lovely woman. Smart. Kind. But I wasn't honest with her about some things. Important things. And when she found out, it destroyed us. I never knew that. It's not something I talk about much, but I learned something from it. You can't love someone fully if you're not willing to be fully known. And Tyler wasn't willing to let you know him. We drove to Claire's apartment in silence. My dad helped me carry everything up 3 flights of stairs. When we were done, he hugged me. You're going to be okay, he said. I know. Better than okay. You're going to be great. I wanted to believe him. Tyler tried calling me a few more times over the next few days, but I didn't answer. I wasn't ready. Maybe I never would be. Owen texted me once. I'm sorry for everything. I hope you find someone who deserves you. I didn't respond to that either. 1 week after the wedding that didn't happen, I went back to work. My coworkers had heard what happened. They were kind but awkward about it. Nobody knew what to say. My friend Iris from accounting pulled me aside at lunch. I don't want to overstep, she said, but if you need to talk, I'm here. I went through something similar a few years ago. You did? Yeah. My fiancé cheated on me with his ex. Found out 2 weeks before the wedding. It was hell. What did you do? I called it off, moved to a new city, started over. Best decision I ever made. You don't regret it? Not for a second. That pain was temporary. A bad marriage would have been permanent. Her words stayed with me. About a week later, I was scrolling through social media when I saw that Tyler had posted something. Against my better judgment, I clicked on it. It was a photo of him and Owen. They were at a restaurant, sitting close together. The caption said, "Sometimes the person you're looking for has been there all along." I stared at that photo for a full minute. Then I laughed. Claire came over to see what was funny. Look, I said, showing her the phone. Her eyes widened. Oh my God, they're together? Apparently. That was fast. Not really. They've been together this whole time. They just finally stopped hiding it. How do you feel about that? I thought about it. Relieved, I said. At least now he's being honest. At least now Owen gets what he wanted. Do you think they'll last? I have no idea, but that's not my problem anymore. And it really wasn't. I found an apartment 2 weeks later. A small 1-bedroom in a good neighborhood. It was more expensive than I'd have liked, but it was mine. The first place that was truly just mine. I painted the bedroom a soft blue, bought new curtains, hung up photos of my family and friends, created a space that felt like me. I focused on work, reconnected with friends I'd neglected while planning the wedding, started going to a yoga class, adopted a cat named Pepper who'd been at the shelter for months because she was older and people wanted kittens. She curled up on my lap the first night I brought her home and purred. We're going to be okay, I told her. She seemed to agree. Life moved on in small, steady ways. I started cooking more, tried new recipes, discovered I actually liked having a kitchen to myself where I could make as much of a mess as I wanted. I went on walks in the mornings before work, watched the sunrise, listened to podcasts about everything and nothing. I started journaling, writing down my thoughts and feelings, processing everything that had happened. Some days were harder than others. I'd see a couple holding hands and feel a pang of loneliness. I'd pass by the restaurant where Tyler and I had our first date and feel a wave of something that wasn't quite sadness but wasn't quite anything else either. But mostly, I felt lighter, like I'd been carrying something heavy without realizing it, and now that it was gone, I could finally breathe properly. About 3 months after the almost wedding, I ran into Gregory at a coffee shop. "Vanessa," he said, looking genuinely pleased to see me. "How are you?" "I'm good," I said, and I meant it. "How are you?" "I'm okay. Listen, I wanted to apologize for not telling you earlier about Tyler and Owen. I should have said something. You didn't know the whole story. Still, you deserved better than what happened." "Yeah, I did." We talked for a few minutes. He told me that Tyler and Owen were living together now, that they'd come out to their parents, that it had been messy but they were working through it. "My mom's having a hard time with it," Gregory said. "She feels like she pushed Tyler into something he didn't want. Into you, I mean. No offense. None taken. Did she push him? Not intentionally. But she made it clear what she expected. What would make the family proud. And Tyler always wanted to make her proud. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone." Yeah, my dad's not speaking to Tyler right now. Says he's embarrassed. That Tyler's making a mockery of the family. That's awful. It is. But Tyler seems happier. More himself. Even with everything else falling apart. "I think Tyler's happier now," Gregory said. "More himself. Even if it took a disaster to get there." "That's good," I said. "Everyone deserves to be themselves." "What about you? Are you seeing anyone?" "Not yet. I'm still figuring out who I am outside of that relationship." "That's smart." Before we parted ways, Gregory said, "For what it's worth, I think you dodged a bullet. Tyler wasn't ready to be married. Maybe he never will be. But you're gonna be fine. Better than fine." "Thanks, Gregory. And hey, if you ever need anything, or just want to grab coffee and talk, let me know. I always thought you were good for our family, just not for Tyler." I smiled. "I appreciate that." The months continued to pass. I fell into a routine. Work, yoga, time with friends, evenings with Pepper. I went on a few dates. Nothing serious. A coworker's friend who was nice but boring. A guy I met at a bookstore who talked too much about his ex. A woman from my yoga class who was sweet but we had nothing in common. I wasn't in a hurry. For the first time in my adult life, I was comfortable being alone. I learned things about myself. I learned that I liked mystery novels and hated action movies, that I preferred preferred tea to coffee in the evenings, that I was actually pretty good at painting, something I'd never tried before. I took a pottery class, made lopsided bowls and uneven mugs, kept them all anyway because they were mine and I'd made them. I started volunteering at an animal shelter on weekends, walking dogs, playing with cats. It was good to focus on something outside myself. 6 months after the wedding that never happened, I was at a bookstore when someone bumped into me. "I'm so sorry," a voice said. I looked up to see a woman about my age with curly red hair and an apologetic smile. "It's okay," I said. I wasn't watching where I was going. I get too absorbed in the books. Me too. She was holding a mystery novel, the same author I'd just discovered. "Oh, I love that series," I said. Her face lit up. "You've read them." "I'm on book 3. Book 3 is so good. Wait until you get to the twist." "No spoilers," I said quickly. She laughed. "I promise." We started talking. Her name was Heidi. She was a graphic designer. She loved mystery novels and hiking, and her golden retriever named Biscuit. "Biscuit?" I said. "I know. I adopted her when she was already named that, and it seemed wrong to change it. I have a cat named Pepper. Pepper and Biscuit. They sound like a cooking show." I laughed. Really laughed. For the first time in months. We talked for 20 minutes in the bookstore. Then she had to leave for a meeting. "This was nice," she said. "Yeah, it was. Would it be okay if I gave you my number? Maybe we could talk about books sometime. Or anything, really." I hesitated for just a second. Then I pulled out my phone. "I'd like that." We exchanged numbers. 3 weeks later, we went on our first date. Dinner at a small Italian restaurant. The kind with checkered tablecloths and candles and wine bottles. Heidi was easy to talk to. She asked questions and actually listened to the answers. She told me about her work, her family, her dog. When I told her I'd recently ended an engagement, she didn't pry. "That must have been hard," she said. "It was, but it was also the right thing to do." I believe that. Sometimes the hard thing and the right thing are the same thing. At the end of the night, she walked me to my car. "I had a really nice time," she said. "Me too. Can we do this again?" "Yes," she smiled. "Good." We saw each other again the following week, and the week after that, and the week after that. Heidi was different from Tyler in every way. She was open about her feelings, honest about her past, clear about what she wanted. There was no guessing, no wondering, no second-guessing every word and action. It was refreshing. 6 months after we started dating, she met my family. My mom loved her immediately. They spent an hour talking about gardening while I helped my dad with dinner. "She seems nice," my dad said quietly. "She is. You seem happy." "I am." "Good. That's all I want for you." Claire pulled me aside later that evening. "Okay, I really like her," Claire said. Yeah, she's good for you." "I can tell." "How?" "Because you smile more. You seem lighter. More like yourself." "I didn't realize I'd lost myself." "You didn't lose yourself. You just got a little buried under everything else. But you're back now." A year after meeting Heidi, I moved in with her. We found a place together, a 2-bedroom apartment with a small balcony and enough space for both Pepper and Biscuit. The animals took about 3 days to become best friends. We'd find them curled up together on the couch, Biscuit's head resting on Pepper's back. "They're cuter than us," Heidi said one evening watching them sleep. "Way cuter." "Should we be offended?" "Probably." She laughed and kissed me. Life with Heidi was easy in a way. Life with Tyler never had been. We didn't fight often. And when we did, we talked it out. No hiding, no avoiding, just honest conversation about whatever was bothering us. She supported my hobbies, came to my pottery class exhibit when I displayed my wonky bowls, cheered me on when I ran my first 5K. I supported hers, attended her gallery showing when she displayed her graphic design work, helped her practice presentations for client meetings. We built a life together, a real one. And 2 years after the wedding that never happened, Heidi proposed to me on a beach in Oregon. We'd gone for a long weekend. It was early morning, the beach nearly empty. The sun was just starting to rise over the water. "I have something to ask you," Heidi said. "Okay." She got down on one knee, pulled out a small box. "Vanessa, you're my best friend, my partner, the person I want to come home to every day for the rest of my life. Will you marry me?" I said yes without hesitation. No doubt, no fear, no wondering if this was right. Just pure, uncomplicated joy. We had a small wedding, just family and close friends. No rehearsal dinner, no best man drama, no lies. Just 2 people who loved each other, choosing each other, honestly and completely. Claire gave a speech at the reception. 2 years ago, she said, "My sister almost made the biggest mistake of her life, but she didn't. She was brave enough to walk away from something that looked perfect but wasn't. And because of that courage, she found something real." She raised her glass. "To Vanessa and Heidi, may your marriage be built on truth, trust, and all the love you both deserve." Everyone cheered. I looked at Heidi. She was crying happy tears. "You okay?" I asked. "I'm perfect," she said. "Are you?" I thought about everything that had led me here. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the hard choices. "Yeah," I said. "I really am." And I was. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you becomes the best thing that ever happened to you. Sometimes walking away from what's broken leads you to what's whole. Sometimes a wedding that doesn't happen is the beginning of the life you were always meant to live. The reception was beautiful, simple but elegant. White lights strung across the ceiling, flowers from a local farm, a cake that nobody destroyed. During our first dance, Heidi whispered in my ear, "I'm so glad I bumped into you that day. Technically, I bumped into you. Let's agree it was mutual." I laughed. Deal. Later that night, my mom pulled me aside. "I'm so happy for you, sweetheart," she said. "Thanks, Mom. I want you to know something. When you called off the wedding with Tyler, I was worried. Not because I thought you were making a mistake, but because I knew how hard it would be, how much courage it would take. It was hard, but you did it anyway. And look where you are now." I looked around the room, at Heidi dancing with her father, at Claire laughing playing with some of our friends. At my dad talking animatedly with Heidi's mom about something I couldn't hear. Yeah, I said. Look where I am. I never spoke to Tyler again. I heard through mutual friends that he and Owen were still together, that they'd gotten married in a small ceremony upstate, that they seemed happy. I hoped they were. I genuinely did. Not because I forgave Tyler for what he did, but because everyone deserves to live their truth, even if it comes at someone else's expense, even if that someone else was me. I learned something important from all of it. Love isn't about sacrifice. It isn't about compromise. It isn't about accepting less than you deserve because you're afraid of being alone. Love is about choosing someone who chooses you back, fully, honestly, without reservation. And I finally had that. The night of my wedding to Heidi, after everyone had left and we were alone in our hotel room, she asked me a question. Do you ever think about what would have happened if you'd married Tyler? Sometimes, I admitted. And I think I would have spent the rest of my life wondering if I was enough, if he really wanted me, or if he was just trying to convince himself. That sounds exhausting. It would have been. Heidi took my hand. I want you to know something, she said. You are enough. You're more than enough. You're everything. I kissed her. So are you. And that was the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. Finally, a few months after our wedding, my mom called me. You'll never guess who I ran into at the grocery store, she said. Who? Tyler's mother. I felt a small twinge of anxiety. Oh, she apologized. For everything. She said she knew something was wrong with Tyler before the wedding, but she didn't want to see it. She said she was sorry for pushing you two together. What did you say? I told her that everything worked out the way it was supposed to, that you're happy now. What did she say to that? She said she was glad, and she meant it. I thought about that for a moment. That's good, I said. She also told me that Tyler and Owen broke up. That surprised me, really. Apparently being together in reality wasn't the same as the fantasy Owen had built up in his head. They fought constantly. Owen couldn't get over the fact that Tyler had kept him a secret for so long. Tyler couldn't handle the pressure of being out. It was a mess. Wow. Tyler's dating women again. Apparently. His mother seemed confused about the whole thing. I wasn't surprised. Some people spend their whole lives running from themselves. Well, I said, I hope he figures it out eventually. You're very gracious. I'm just happy it's not my problem anymore. My mom laughed. Fair enough. How's Heidi? She's great. We're thinking about getting a dog. Another one. Biscuit needs a friend. Of course she does. We talked for a bit longer, then said goodbye. I hung up and looked around our apartment. Heidi was in the kitchen, dancing to music I couldn't hear, probably wearing her earbuds. Pepper was asleep on the couch. The afternoon sun was streaming through the windows. Everything was exactly where it needed to be, including me. And when I thought about that rehearsal dinner, about Owen standing up and screaming, about the cake smashing and the chaos that followed, I didn't feel angry anymore. I felt grateful, because that moment of destruction was really a moment of clarity. It was the universe telling me to wake up, to look closer, to demand better. And I listened. A year after my wedding to Heidi, I got an unexpected message on social media. It was from Owen. Hi Vanessa. I know this is out of the blue. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to apologize for how everything went down. What I did at your rehearsal dinner was inexcusable. I let my feelings override my basic decency. You didn't deserve that. I've been in therapy working through a lot of stuff. Part of that process is making amends where possible. So I'm sorry. Truly. I hope you found happiness. I stared at that message for a long time. Heidi came up behind me. Everything okay? Owen messaged me. The Owen? Yeah. What did he say? I showed her the message. She read it carefully. How do you feel about that? She asked. I don't know. Part of me appreciates the apology. Part of me thinks it's a few years too late. You don't have to respond if you don't want to. I know. I thought about it for a few days. Then I wrote back. Thank you for the apology. I appreciate that you're working on yourself. I am happy now. I hope you're finding your way to happiness too. Short, simple, honest. Owen wrote back. I'm glad. You deserve it. And that was it. Closure, or something close to it. 2 years into my marriage with Heidi, we decided to buy a house. It was small but perfect. 2 bedrooms, a yard for Biscuit, a sunroom where Pepper liked to nap. We painted the walls ourselves. Heidi chose colors I never would have thought of. A sage green in the living room, a warm terracotta in the dining room. Trust me, she said when I looked skeptical. And I did, because that's what you do when you're with someone who sees you and loves you anyway. The house looked amazing when we were done. We had a housewarming party, invited everyone we cared about. My parents, Claire, Heidi's family, our friends. Gregory came. He'd stayed in touch with me over the years, completely independent of Tyler. He brought his girlfriend, a woman named Natalie who worked in education. This place is great, he said, looking around. Thanks. We love it. You seem really happy, Vanessa. I am. How are you? Good. Really good, actually. He glanced at Natalie, who was talking to Heidi about something. I think I'm going to propose soon. That's wonderful, Gregory. Yeah. I learned something from watching you and Tyler. Life's too short to be with someone who's not all in. It really is. For what it's worth, Tyler's doing okay now. He's single, seeing a therapist, working on figuring himself out. That's good. He deserves to be happy too. You're very kind considering. I'm not kind. I'm just done carrying anger about it. It's been years. I've moved on. And I had. Later that night, after everyone had gone home, Heidi and I sat on our back porch. Biscuit was at our feet. Pepper was curled up on Heidi's lap. This was a good day, Heidi said. It was. I was thinking about. Maybe we should talk about kids. Not right now. But eventually. My heart did a little flip. You want kids? I do. With you. I want that too. She smiled. Good. Then let's make that happen. When we're ready. When we're ready, I agreed. 6 months later, later, we started the process. Research, consultations, decisions about how we wanted to build our family. It took time. There were setbacks and disappointments, but we handled it together, supporting each other through every step. And 3 years after we got married, we welcomed our daughter. We named her Nina. She had Heidi's red hair, and my eyes, and a personality that was entirely her own from day one. Being parents changed us, made us more patient, more careful, more aware of what really mattered. We took turns with night feedings and diaper changes, and all the mundane, exhausting, beautiful parts of raising a tiny human. My mom came over almost every day to help. She'd hold Nina for hours while I napped, or showered, or just sat in silence for a few minutes. She's perfect, my mom said one afternoon, rocking Nina to sleep. She really is. I'm so proud of the life you've built, sweetheart, the family you've created. Thanks, Mom. I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have, but I'm glad you didn't have to. When Nina was 6 months old, Claire came to visit. I can't believe you're a mom, she said, watching me feed Nina. I can't either. Sometimes. You're really good at it. I'm making it up as I go. Isn't that what everyone does? I guess so. Claire held Nina while I made lunch. She looked natural with her, comfortable. Have you thought about having kids? I asked. Maybe. Someday. I'm still figuring out my own life first. That's smart. You know what's weird? What? I was thinking about your almost wedding the other day. About how close you came to marrying Tyler. Why were you thinking about that? Because I was imagining what your life would be like now if you had. And it made me sad. Because you wouldn't have this life. This happiness. Nina. No, I said quietly. I wouldn't. Sometimes things fall apart so better things can fall together. Someone wise say that? I did. Just now. I'm wise. I laughed. Yes, you are. Nina grew. 1 year old. 2 years old. 3 years old. She was curious and stubborn and kind. She loved books and animals and painting. Heidi and I took her to the zoo, the library, the park. We read to her every night, taught her to be brave and honest and true to herself. We didn't pretend our family was traditional. We explained in age-appropriate ways that families come in all different forms, that what matters is love, not structure. I have 2 moms, Nina said proudly at preschool one day. The teacher called us in for a meeting. I braced myself for some lecture about confusing the other children. Instead, she said, Nina talks about you both constantly. She clearly feels very loved and secure. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Relief washed over me. Thank you, Heidi said. No need to thank me. I'm just telling you what I see. You're good parents. We left that meeting holding hands, both of us a little teary. We're doing okay, Heidi said. We're doing better than okay. Yeah, we really are. 5 years after my wedding to Heidi, I was at a coffee shop when I saw him. Tyler. He was sitting alone at a corner table, working on a laptop. He looked older, thinner. There was gray in his hair that hadn't been there before. I could have left, could have snuck out before he saw me, but I didn't. I walked over to his table. Tyler. He looked up. His eyes widened. Vanessa. Hi. Would you like to sit? I hesitated, then nodded. We sat in awkward silence for a moment. You look good, he said finally. Thanks. So do you. I heard you got married. Congratulations. Thank you. I heard you and Owen didn't work out. Yeah, that was complicated. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was probably inevitable. We had too much history, too much hurt. Are you seeing anyone now? No. I'm taking time to work on myself, figure out who I am outside of a relationship. That's good. I've been in therapy. A lot of therapy. How's that going? It's hard, but helpful. I'm learning a lot about why I did what I did. Why I hurt you. Why I hurt Owen. I didn't know what to say to that. I'm sorry, Vanessa, for everything. I know I said it before, but I don't think I really understood what I was apologizing for. Now I do. What are you apologizing for? For using you. For lying to you. For wasting 3 years of your life while I tried to figure out who I was supposed to be instead of who I actually was. I appreciate that. I heard you have a daughter. I do. Her name is Nina. That's a beautiful name. Thank you. Are you happy? I thought about Heidi. About Nina. About the life we'd built. Yes, I said. I really am. Good. That's really good. We talked for a few more minutes. Superficial stuff. Safe topics. Then I stood to leave. It was good to see you, Tyler. You too. I walked away feeling lighter. That conversation had been closure I didn't know I needed. When I got home, Heidi was reading to Nina on the couch. How was your day? She asked. Interesting. I ran into Tyler. Her eyebrows went up. Really? How was that? Fine, actually. He apologized. We talked. It was civil. How do you feel? Good. Really good. Seeing him reminded me how far I've come. How different my life is now. Better different. So much better. Nina climbed onto my lap. Mama, I drew you a picture. She held up a drawing of our family. Me, Heidi, Nina, Biscuit, and Pepper, all holding hands. Well, pause. It's beautiful, baby. We're all together. Yes, we are. And that was everything. Sometimes the worst thing someone can do to you is the best gift they never meant to give. Owen didn't destroy my wedding. He saved me from a marriage that would have destroyed me. Tyler didn't break my heart. He showed me I deserved better, pushed me toward finding it. And somewhere along the way, I learned that happiness isn't about finding the perfect person or the perfect life. It's about finding someone who makes you want to be honest, someone who sees all of you and loves all of you, someone who doesn't make you wonder or worry or second guess, someone who's just there, fully, completely, without reservation. I found that in Heidi, and in finding her, I found myself, not the person I thought I was supposed to be, but the person I actually was. And that person, that real, honest, imperfect person, was enough, more than enough. She was exactly who she needed to be, and she was finally, wonderfully, completely happy.